YouTube, it's Brian Phillips again. And I know you guys are super surprised with all the millions of videos I've been putting out lately. I have something new today.
It's not a garbage bag.
It's not a garbage bag. Did you guys notice that? It's in a box.
Ooh.
It's well packed. No garbage bags at all.
Yeah.
This is going to be something special. Something you've never seen before on YouTube. World exclusive. Here you go. But still, it's going to be awesome anyway, and I'm going to open it. Oh my goodness gracious. Are you kidding me? It's an airplane? What do you think?
Cool.
So this is a little airplane, and it is something that somebody reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in taking a look at. And so Sunnysky sent it to me, and they sell the stuff on Amazon and eBay, and this is the company Sunnysky makes brushless motors and all sorts of cool things. So I guess we're gonna see if this is any good. There's a few reviews floating around the Introverse net, and I'm excited to see how it works because it looks like it's going to be pretty fun. And first thoughts on the packaging is it's really nice. It's really solid. I mean, it's coming from Amazon in our case, so we have. How often do we get Amazon packaging, Megan?
Every day.
Almost every day. Sunday, Saturday, it doesn't matter what day. Nice, heavy duty box, solid, incompressible, okay? That's nice, I like that. See how they're stacked? Got the transmitter here. This is a ready to fly, which means you could just, no, you gotta put it together. But still, it's ready to fly. Comes with everything you need. It might even come with double A's. We're gonna wait and see. I really am impressed with these boxes. These would be perfect for Christmas wrapping. Like Christmas wrapping.
Are you gonna start doing that?
No.
Okay.
No. Comes with a manual. It almost looks like it could be in English, like actual English. Wait, hold on. It folds the wrong way though. It folds this way. That's kind of weird. Whoa, USA. USA, what is that? That can't possibly be right. There's no way. Let's look at this. Look at this. It's got information, shows you how to put it together. Pretty simple stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and just take the pieces out. It looks like this is the fuse. Feels like it's gonna be solid. The motor is heavy, which is awesome. Look at that, guys. That's pretty cool. Look at this little brushless motor. That's awesome. You usually don't get brushless motor in crappy little airplanes like this. Oh, except for when it's a brushless motor manufacturer, and then you do. So, and then look at that. That is so cool, that prop adapter. That motor is cool.
It looks
it's like
nice.
really small, but it feels like it's gonna be powerful. And then look how they did the servos, guys. They have linkages here that come out of the middle of the body. Man, that feels really nice. Nice molding. I mean, it's not a scale airplane. I'm usually a scale airplane kind of guy, but just look at the way the servo sticks out the end. They've done a really nice job. Good engineering here. And then the servo here. There's no control horns, guys. It's just it's all like integral to the packaging of the aircraft. Tail wheel, little servo here. Looks serviceable, which is pretty cool. You just don't see a lot of that. Let's show them inside here. That is pretty cool. Look at that. Very heavy duty linkages. I like that. So the servos are right here in the middle. It's going to be kind of a bearcat to replace those servos if you have a problem. We got a JST connector, which is cool. Looks like there's some extra ports on that board, so we might be able to add things if we wanted to. I don't know if we'll need to do that, obviously. Feels good for weight, but not super heavy duty. Pretty stiff. Let's show them up against the light. Ooh, look at that, guys. Look at that. You can't see through it. You can't see a bunch of carbon fiber, but there's a bunch of stuff up here. So it's always nice to know how strong something's gonna be, but this feels like it's gonna bounce back nicely. Because you can see it springs back good. And because they don't have a servo halfway up or whatever, you're not gonna break that off, which is pretty cool. And then look at the hinge point, guys. The hinge point, you can see through this. Bring the camera way up. I can see through it right now. That's pretty cool. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a hinge material in there. I think it's just compressed foam. So probably won't hold up forever. And just look how nice this is machined. I mean, this is obviously an injection molding process, but look how smooth that is. That's just a different texture. It looks like vinyl. It's pretty cool. And then the decals are really nice. So anyway, then we got plastic here. Plastic parts. Looks like 2 propellers. I'll tell you what type of propellers they are right now. Okay, there's 2 of them. Does not look like the size is marked. That's a little bit disappointing, but you could go figure out what they are. The only problem with them is that they have this complex keyed shape. Can they see that on the camera?
Oh.
See how it's got a keyed shape to it?
Yep.
So I don't know if the spinner receives it that way. Nope, it's part of the prop adapter. So look how easy that goes on. That's awesome, guys. Positive seat. And there's a hole in the middle, so you must be putting some assembly together here in a minute. Looks like it is a spinner, in fact. So just in opening up these pieces, really high quality stuff, given the cost on this is really low. Tail wheel, heavy duty steel. Not heavy though. It's not like it's carbon fiber. Carbon fiber comes with another prop adapter. That's super nice. Comes with one of these screwdrivers. It's really small. Phillips. Really small Phillips. So that's good. Nothing like having to buy tools to work on these things. The spinner feels pretty nice. I think it might be made of a rubbery material. Let's see. There is a screw in here, so don't lose the screw, folks. It's plastic, so that thing will be the first thing to break when you crash. Looks like just a long screw. Of course, this is going to go on over the top of this. I mean, it's such a no-brainer. I can't resist. I want to put the prop on there. Don't put it on backward, okay? I'm going to show you what backward looks like because I accidentally did that on purpose. See that? I've got a black shirt on. Can you see it? The correct way is like that. So it's going to spin like this. So that is interesting. That's interesting. That's clockwise. Usually motors turn counterclockwise. That's really weird. What do you think about that, camera crew?
Are
you kind of ticked off about it? The spinner looks like a really nice fit. Very clean machining. I'm surprised how clean it is. You know what? I can't resist. Let's just not read the instructions at all and put this together. I'm not going to do that to you guys. We're going to read the instructions. But I'm going to just turn that in because I don't want to have it flopping around. That looks really nice. Foam here to protect. That's always good. These boxes are really nice. I'm going to keep those for Christmas stuff. Of course, we got the radio here. Incompressible packaging. That's good. Nothing worse than getting apart, having it broken. It's really annoying. The OMP Hobby. OMP Hobby. I don't know what OMP Hobby stands for, but like I said, this is the Sunnysky product made by OMP Hobby. I think that must be the product lineup. Okay, so this uses 1, 2, 3, 4 double A's. Seems like the kind of going rate, and I'll tell you why, because that would be a 6 volts. So 1.5 times 4. Okay, we've got a power switch here. Control stick, free to move in all directions, and then throttle is not spring return to 0. We've got normal, sport, and trick, which is good. Very easy to read. You don't have to, wonder what it's going to do. This particular model looks like it came with two 2S batteries. That's 2 cells in series. And you can tell by looking at that, it says 7.4 volts, 300 milliamp hours. That's pretty sweet. Nice. So we'll just pop these out of the sack. It's got JST connector on it. So now, one thing about lithium polymer or Lipo batteries is that you do need to be a little bit careful when you charge these. I'm just going to give the normal safety spiel. Milliamp hours is how long they're going to last, because that is a measurement of power over time. Milliamp hours. Milliamps are power, and then time is an hour. So here's your 2S balance charge plug here. And this charger, if you want to give them a close up on this, we're going to get these things charging right now using the stock charger. Looks very high quality. Output is 7.4 volts at 1000 milliamps. Something to consider, folks. That is almost 3 times the size of this battery. So 1000 compared to 300, that means you're charging at 3 point something, because 3 times 300 would be 900. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you pick your power supply to plug this into. You may want to err on the side of lower, and it will charge slower, which means your Lipos will last longer. So let's take these over and check the voltages. You're probably thinking, you haven't even opened the rest of the package. That's right, because I want to see how these things go. This is an HXT, a Hextronics connection, a Hextronics balance charge plug. That's just a voltage alarm. It says 7.63, 3.82, 3.81. Okay, so that's good. That's like in a storage mode. .63, okay, good. So 3.82 and 3.81. So these things can be charged in a number of different ways. I have my balance charger, we can use that, but for the sake of testing, we're gonna go ahead and use this little Zeus charger. It's just the one that we happen to have out here right now. I know I always go over this like every time, so you guys probably get sick of it. This is a 100 through 240 volts AC at approximately 50 to 60 hertz. At, looks like, that's in parentheses, 0.25 amps. I'm not sure what that means. So the output is 5.2 volts at 1.35 amps. So 1.35 amps is obviously more than 1000 milliamps. So we will be able to produce enough to run this. So we're gonna run this now. You just plug it into any regular USB charger. You should be okay. But if you get one of the really big ones, you could actually overcharge this. So the rule of thumb, if you're not used to Lipos, this is a granite countertop, so it'd be a safe thing to do. If you don't have a granite countertop, maybe put it on like a cookie sheet or something like that. Look what happens to this. It goes from just a red light to a flashing green light. That's pretty cool. You're gonna have to get way up there, camera crew. You guys see that? So that's what happens. And of course, this is plugged in. So when that's done charging, then it's going to presumably stop flashing. And I will show you what it looks like to charge it on another style of charger real quick so we can have one ready to rock and roll. And we'll pause it and get an adapter from XT60 to JST. So guys, just ask the camera crew. You can never have enough charging cables. This is a JST. Technically it is a male because it has pins, but a lot of times people confuse that and they call this a female because the case is, you know. And then this is a female socket. So the male and the female go together, and that's confusing in the world right now, I know, but here you go. So you see your red is lined up with your red. That goes to an XT60 in this case, because that's what my balance charger uses. So nothing special there. And then this can go into the balance charger port, okay? And then over here, we'll just show you how to set it up. So this is a 300 milliamp hour pack. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Lipo Charge. I'll actually jump over to Lipo Balance. Can you change the brightness here? There we go. So we'll just press enter, and then we'll walk that to, we're gonna run this at about 1S would be 0.3 amps. And we wanna put this to 2S. And then we're gonna press and hold to start. Now it's gonna ask us to confirm, and we'll press enter. I'm gonna walk over and we'll see there's, well, that's kind of weird. There we go. Whoops. Let's see what's going on here, guys. That's kind of interesting. So we are plugged in here. We're definitely, everything is, oh, you guys see what happened there? Look at that. Look at that. You guys see the JST connector? I don't know if you can see, but there's, oh no, it's fine. I'm not sure what happened. So we'll see what's going on real quick. Sometimes on these balance chargers, balance charge ports, you'll actually find that these pins will come loose. So the first thing I do is get way in there. See how there's a little piece of almost, it looks like a piece of metal those are actually the contacts. It's a square with a little piece that folds down and presses against the pins of the charger. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go, we'll stop this, make sure it's stopped. I'll go ahead and try again. We'll just go to a different spot, make sure we don't have something with that charger. Okay, and then back to work, so we'll press start. Try again. And here we go. So now it's at 7.2, and I go over here and we can see it's working. I think what's going on is I have, must have a bad spot on my charger. So I'll learn from that and fix it. So anyway, that's gonna charge. That'll charge quite a bit quicker than the stock one, but then we can have one going and the other one going as well. So nice box for the transmitter. Obviously we need to, man, these things go quick. There's just 3 boxes. So there's not much in terms of piece count, but they've done a really nice job of separating them from one another. Anytime you see wings that come in a box that's like crushed and destroyed, it's very frustrating. It's demoralizing. If you get your kids or you get yourself or your adult 40-year-old kids, things like that, they'll be disappointed on Christmas Day. See this? When that goes into the socket, it's gonna snap to keep it retained. That is awesome. Look, magnets. That is pretty cool stuff. Really cool. Super easy to assemble. I don't even think, I'm gonna refuse to look. I'm gonna refuse to look at the instructions because look how easy this is. Look at this. Look how that's gonna work. That is so cool. It's just gonna hang on to the control clevis. Look at this. Well, not the clevis, see that? It just wraps around it. That is so cool, guys. This is like the world's easiest installation video. Look at that. I just snapped it together. It took me 1 second. Of course, I'm blabbing about it so much that it probably took 3 times a big control surface. I like it. That is awesome. Let's talk about carbon fiber for a minute. Obviously, you can see it here. It only goes out as far as you can see it, so no ambiguity. This extra spot on the wing, I forget what we call that, but it will help with the flight characteristics. And it's like a step back, I forget. Anyway, I'm not gonna try because I don't remember. These decals here, there was kind of didn't get pressed down tight in the corner. Okay, so you see this, guys? Same exact design. What a cool, simple design. They've got a pocket here to receive these little things. That is really creative and neat. I like it a lot. And then of course you have to have a pin to keep things true, otherwise the control surface would not move. I'm actually really excited about this. It is uncommon to see such an easy to assemble plane. I mean, I just can't hardly believe how easy it is. I mean, you would love to be able to say that they're all this easy, but they're not.
No.
Sometimes they're a huge pain. That feels really good. It looks really good. And it's got some give to it. And because there's a control surface way in here, you can have this bend and flex and move and it's not gonna break that thing, which is pretty awesome. Boy, it looks really nice too. I'm excited to see this all together. Of course, landing gear, we might as well go ahead and toss those in there. I believe they're supposed to go the other way, but I'll just go ahead and look at the picture because like I said, I'm doing the no manual setup here just because I know that's the way you guys are gonna do it. Yeah, they're supposed to sweep back. I'm actually not crazy about the way it looks with it swept back. What do you think, camera crew? She likes it.
That's all right.
I'm gonna see if it'll go the other way. I don't think it will. Let's see how bad it looks, guys. This is gonna be throwing caution to the wind. Yeah, that might look kind of dumb. I don't know. I like the way it looks because it looks more like a regular airplane. Most airplanes, the longer the wheelbase, the more stability you'll get. So I'm just gonna slide them in. There is a little catch on there. You guys see that little
Hold on.
catch right there? So that, listen, snaps. Jeez, this thing is so easy to build. And high quality wheels actually.
Are they squishy wheels?
Super surprising, yeah. They're foam wheels.
Huh.
And they've got a bushing.
They sound.
They actually
like,
spin free.
yeah.
You don't usually get free spinning wheels, even on some of the really expensive stuff. And by the way, that's ridiculous, but I live in the world of reality. See this? Look how free that spins. Never spin free like that. And I like the size and the scale of these wheels. So far, really impressed with the quality of this plane.
It seems well thought out.
Not a steerable wheel. Not happy about that. But you see how light it's going to be on its feet? I bet we'll be able to taxi this because of the thrust over the rudder. We do have a brushless motor, which is good. Brushless motors, if you don't know, are going to give you more power for weight, okay? And significantly more power, okay? So we are going to go ahead and get some batteries going and come right back and show you how to put that in, and we'll get this thing fired up. So we're back. We got some AA batteries. We're going to go ahead and put these in here. Flat side goes to the spring. The little dimple side goes to the flat. You can also look at the drawing on there. It's pretty straightforward. If you haven't installed AA's, you're probably not going to fly this plane today. But I know some of you guys are just getting started. So mine happened to be on. Go ahead and turn that off. Take note of the fact that there's clickers on there. I don't know what that does. This is how you calibrate the gyro. I did look at the instruction manual while I was waiting. Basically, the normal process on any airplane is to turn on the transmitter first and then make sure your throttle stick is down because you don't want to cut your fingers, okay? So we'll show you how that works. And that's precautionary. I believe there's some other checks and balances on this plane. And then the other thing I want to show you is this binding procedure. Okay, so this plane has to be bound to the radio. It's very easy to do. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's going to take us like 2 seconds, but I just want you to be aware that there is a method to the madness, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So on this instruction manual, there's a binding switch. It shows it right here. It's between the foam on the airplane. So that's talking about right there, guys. You can't see it because it's under the wires, okay? So you're gonna have to have a screwdriver to reach down there and kind of get it. Or you can just go in there and just move them with your finger. But I just need you guys to see that because you see how hard it is to see, camera crew? Mm-hmm. It's blocked.
Yeah.
So in this nice little diagram, it makes it look so easy. And it's gonna be easy. But you just need to be aware it's a little bit buried, okay? So without further ado, we are going to check the chargers. My charger is set for 1 amp charge rate because I didn't want to wait around. It's hovering close to about 4.2 volts in balance mode. It's at 8.4 volts. We did that in 5 minutes plus what we did before. I would say that realistically we were probably about a 10-minute charge cycle because we had some issues with the children. When we filmed, that's when all the children decide to take care of their business, usually with their clothes on. So we're gonna test this voltage real quick. Anybody with children gets it. 2 cells. The all voltage is 8.25 and 4.13 and 4.11. And you're saying, but Brian, it just said 4.2 and 4.2, which is the charge you want to get to. That's what happens when you pull them off the charger prematurely. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to use this to get things set up, and we'll see how things go. Okay? So the first things first is they're suggesting that it needs to be bound, so we're going to follow the instructions. Open the battery cover, connect the battery to the receiver. The blue light's going to steadily flash. Okay, so this is the discharge lead, and this is the balance charge lead. You can tell the difference by the discharge lead being red, and it also matches the plug that's on the plane. Okay, just pay attention to your polarity. You can't really force it in wrong unless you're really working hard. Okay. See, there was one blue light on. Mm-hmm. It's very slowly flashing. As a result of the servo cables, we are going to grab the most convenient screwdriver that I can grab. And it just so happens to be this. It also comes with a screwdriver, as you know. So we are going to basically push and hold the binding button until the blue light flashes rapidly. You can push on top of the wire, but I would recommend kind of sliding that out of the way, like this. Okay, now it's flashing rapidly. Look, it's on solid. It's already bound. Okay? This thing is always on solid when it's on. Show the people at home what's going on. Elevator up, elevator down. ailerons, ailerons, rudder, rudder. So I'm going to show you that again so you can see how to test this. Elevator goes up like that. When you pull the stick down, that's going to make the plane go like this. Down, that's going to make the plane dive. Ailerons, that's going to bring this wing down and that wing up. Same there. And then of course rudder is going to yaw the plane or yaw the plane. Now this plane and many of the newest planes out on the market are going to have, well, let's show where the battery goes to, because I believe the battery is going to fit really nicely up here. You know, the only thing I didn't notice in this manual was a lot of talk about center of gravity. So this just slides in and then this pushes down and snaps. And that really does look pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that moves a lot of air.
It's got some power.
Yeah.
So now the other thing is, you'll notice that the plane, the ailerons, it's trying to find the quickest route home to level. So as it comes level, the ailerons level out. That's auto leveling, okay? Now look at the rudder. As I rotate this plane, you see what happens to the rudder? See how it's trying to resist the movement? That's called stabilization. So there's two different things. When you want to see if it's got auto leveling on, you bring it upside down and look at the ailerons because they're very easy to see. And then they switch, trying to find the quickest route to level, okay? That's why it goes like that. You're finding the middle of the horizon there for it. So that's pretty cool. Now you can recalibrate this, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to intentionally calibrate this wrong, okay? You see I'm in an attitude that is really wrong. Watch what happens. Let's see if it'll do it. It may not do it. We might be far enough off that it's intelligent enough to not do that. Because when you calibrate the gyros, okay, so turn on the controller, power the airplane, place it on flat, simultaneously move to the lower left at the same time. And I'm not sure if maybe it's just already set up good enough, it's not going to do anything. Maybe I need to press the button again. Let's see if the lights change when I do it. Come over here and look at the light, camera crew. See how there's a green, or excuse me, a blue light, and then there's like a little, almost like a red light next to it. Whoops. See, nothing's flashing, right? Mm-hmm. Show them the sticks also. Not sure why that is. But that's supposed to recalibrate the gyro. Woo! That's why you do a throttle cut when you can. But I actually was thinking about this plane and you know, hey, would this thing fly in here? I just don't know if it has enough to cover it. Not quite.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So as you can see, it's dark outside. So my hope is to basically get to flying this as soon as possible, which means we have to wait for light. And we will talk about the gyro after I have a chance to play with it in flight. Maybe I need to just try something different. But it looks really nice. Be careful with the throttle stick. Obviously, you saw what can happen there. I'm gonna go to sport mode real quick, just to see. You see, it's still gonna have stabilization. So let's show the people at home. Stay here, point that way. See this? I'm gonna lift this wing, watch what happens to it. Can you guys see that at home? You see how the aileron is kind of going that direction? Mm-hmm. That's gonna resist an environmental impact. Now watch the rudder. It's going like this. So it's gonna try to keep the plane going straight, okay? And then of course the elevator, you see that, guys? Pretty easy to see that. Let's do it this way. Ready? Can you see that? How the elevator is resisting the environmental impact. But it will still accept the inputs from the sticks. So that's stabilization. So when you're out of sport mode, then it's going to attempt to automatically right the aircraft and keep it at a level attitude, okay? So then tricks, we'll talk about that when we get it up in the air. I thought it was going to be stupid on the last plane we got, but it was actually really cool. So we'll see how that works. Stay tuned, coming right back. Okay, so we finally got an opportunity to fly the OMP Hobby 720 Sport which we'll see how it goes. We've been fighting for daylight. So we finally have a couple minutes of daylight so we can do this. And that's the dilemma with winter. But at least it's a beautiful sunset. And so we do have some wind going on. Elevator, rudder, ailerons. Okay, so we're in normal mode. We haven't hit the trick button. So there you go. Cutting back the throttle. I'll just show you guys it's auto leveling. So just roll the plane here. Little oscillation there. Okay, so I'm gonna go into trick mode here. It's got like a heading hold all the time, so it's kind of a little touchy on the elevator. I would suggest not going to trick mode if you don't have a lot of experience. And the elevator is really touchy, but it does have plenty of power. Okay, into trick mode. Now normally I don't like to fly planes at full throttle like that, but just to show you that it's got the power. It'll almost hammerhead. That's pretty cool. Into normal mode, because the elevator is so touchy. I just want to show you what happens when you put normal mode on and you just kind of let it glide. I do like that the rudder has authority here. Okay, pressing the trick button. Okay, I'm in trick mode now. Press the trick button. I have to figure out exactly how that's supposed to work here. So we're going to bring it down here. Just really running it slow. It is wonky on the axis of controls. You really, there's no middle ground. It just goes. I can't tell where you are, camera crew.
I was trying to see
Come over here.
hands.
I need to know where you are. There you go. Plane looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really having to find that finite point where the rudder and the ailerons will work together for a coordinated turn. Okay, back into normal mode. It finds level very quick, but you can still stall it, as you can see there. Pretty good range, as I can see from this little maneuver. Okay, so now I'm going to try to press the trick button. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or what. Okay, I'm pressing the trick button. It's definitely not doing any tricks. I'm gonna go to trick mode and then press the trick button. Nothing. Not sure what to think, guys. I'm back into normal mode. This sky has got me having a little bit of trouble with orientation. Well, not really having trouble with orientation so much as I know it's not going to film well. It's got plenty of power and authority to do all the stuff you want to do with it, though. And you can go right back to normal mode and it'll snap right back. Let's try a landing here. We got to go out to the runway here. We're going to have to land into the wind here, so I'm going to go around and come back. Lots of rudder authority. You need to get up 3 steps. There you go. Okay, we're gonna try again. Let's show them the moon. Here's the moon. So pretty. That's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll just come up here and very solid on the automatic leveling to the point where you don't almost have control over it. But it's definitely a solid plane. I mean, when you crash, I bet those wings will pop out because the way they mesh into one another. It's definitely not impervious to wind. I can say that for sure. This is what happens when I let go of the controls. It snaps back so fast that it'll overcorrect sometimes. The wind is coming from our back side. Obviously no flaps on there, so you can't really bleed off speed with flaps. So you'd have to use your elevator, your rudder rather. Just try landing here. Woo! Landing gear worked good, but you'll notice there's no authority on the rudder. The tail dragger just, you have to overwhelm it to get up in the air. Let's try again. So if you come in with bad alignment on your landing, you're going to have limited authority as you slow down and you lose the airspeed over your rudder. 2S pack seems to be going for quite a while, which is good. Mm-hmm. Definitely very easy to fly. Man, it's just like sometimes you'll catch a little bit more authority than you expect. It's like there's expo in the control, but they just got like really crazy about the expo at certain spots. Trying to flip, it's got limited bank angles. You can still get yourself into trouble, especially with the rudder and the ailerons together. If you put them both to the side, it does look like there's braking on the prop, which is pretty cool. That helps with glide ratios because you're not producing a bunch of drag with that propeller spinning, tractoring. And that's one of the beautiful things about flying a plane with a brushless motor. One of the added benefits. Okay, we're gonna pause it. Okay, so we're gonna try to fly a little bit more here. I really hope you guys can make that out. Getting hard for me to see it. Hit some grass there. I don't know if you guys could tell. We thought maybe we'd get better visibility on this side. Gorgeous sunset too. I just, you know, flat turns are fun when you're doing it yourself, but that's just the auto leveling. I mean, guys, if you're learning to fly, this thing would be probably good in terms of keeping you from crashing easily, but it would be maybe not so good because it's like safe on crack, for a lack of better terms. It's just like way overpowering. To the point where you got to basically put the stick all the way to the left or all the way to the right. And so you end up with this feel of like almost not having a discrete control. I'm upside down now, I don't know if you can tell. There you go. This lighting condition is probably not going to translate as bad as it is in real life on video, but it's pretty tough to see right now. Okay, we're gonna try to land again here. It's easy landings when you've got auto leveling and all that. I guess my biggest issue with this plane is not the fact that it flies bad or that it flies wonky. That's a preference thing. My issue with the plane is mostly just the fact that I want to see how well it would perform with more of a stabilizer only configuration on a better radio system, because I feel like it's so much more capable than what it's giving us right now, and it's kind of frustrating me. It's undermining my capability to make it do cool things, but it's still better than some of the other more inexpensive airplanes out there on the market. It does definitely let you fly it. You don't have to be an expert pilot to fly it, which is pretty cool. And you don't need a huge runway. But to make it land in a short order, guys, you're going to want to jack that rudder all the way over and just use your ailerons to counter it. And that's going to slow you down as you land. let's go ahead and do it in closing because I'm freezing. Tomorrow is supposed to be much warmer, but we're gonna see about that. So, S720, thumbs up or thumbs down? If you're an experienced pilot, this would be maybe a fun toy, but if you don't know how to fly, this would be really helpful to help you get your coordinates and get your bearings. The brushless motor is really nice. It's super easy to build. It's really well built. The only thing about it is the servos are small, so don't be surprised if they break. And they're embedded in the foam, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky to replace them. If you do have to, you're probably gonna be buying a new fuselage or a new wing or whatever. But just look how easy this stuff comes apart, guys. Look, I mean, it just pops apart. It's like nothing to it. I mean, if you needed to store, I mean, if you needed to transport this, first of all, why do you have to take it apart? But second of all, look how easy that is. And then you can put it together just as quick as you took it apart. I would probably not do that in the cold though, because that plastic will get cold and it will get brittle. But honestly, you could pop off the landing gear. I think it looks great. It flies good. And if you're not a hardcore, really want to do 3D flying and things like this, then I think you're going to love it. Drawbacks are that your servos are small and they will be likely to fail, especially on the axis that you use a lot, like your elevator and your rudder. The ailerons seem to have a little bit bigger servo, so I don't think you're going to have near as big a problem with those. And the other drawback is no flaps, but you know what, that can always be corrected if you want to redo the electronics. But otherwise, really nice plane. The S720 Sport by OMP Hobby. You might want to check it out, guys. It's pretty cool.